How you doing, internet viewers? This is Frank Rauscher. One more time. We've finished on the last video, the burning of all the feathers, and they were relieved. Then we went to the side here, and I came down from the top a full 16th and ran a line all the way up here, followed the contour of the tail, which is like a slight arc, from the top down at least a full 16th, and then do the same thing all the way back, okay? And that's going to be our limit to thinning this out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse the camera and show you exactly how to take this down. So wanted to give you that so we get started. So bear with me, and I'm going to move the camera down and we'll go from Okay, internet viewers, we're back. Now, what I'm going to do is to get a lot of the wood out of there, and I'm not trying to do it real fast. It's just it's a convenient way of doing it, is I like to use the hogging bits is what I call it. It's a tungsten carbide bit. It'll last you forever, and it allows you to take a lot of wood out fast. Now, we have a concave area which we want to maintain. So I'm going to start from the middle and try to go down a 16th and then come right back up. I'm going to lay this right in here, sort of trench it out till I get to this line, or almost to the line. I'm going to leave a little bit because I'm going to come in with a pear-shaped ruby and do some shaping and cleaning this up. This can be rough at times, so you got to be careful. So from that center, I'm moving up on this, and it's not easy to get all of this in here, but I want to keep this concave in the middle here. And then we're going to come up to this line. So here's what I try to do. I try to get my finger up here to protect it in case this spins around when I get up to the top. So I'm going to, I hope you can see this. I tend to drift here. I'm bringing this up slowly, and I'm checking my line so I don't take it away. I'm coming right up to the line, but I'm keeping it concave so it's curling upward. And I'm going to come in this way where the rump was in. And I'm going to be very careful and slow to try to get up to that line. Okay, and then I'm going to come in on like a slight angle this way, and I'm going to slope downward, but my main concern is to maintain that line. Got close to it, and then I'm going to come up here, and then I'm going to walk this down so I can get to that line. And you got to watch because it wants to wrap around, and you don't want to mess up your burn from the top. So I'll come in this way a little bit and be, you're not taking a whole heck of a lot out by now, but I'm just trying to smooth that out. So you can see how rough it is. So just to save some of the time, I took it out with this bit here, which is the tungsten carbide bit. Now I'm going to go to the pear. This is a ruby pear, and I really rely on these most of the time for shaping and smoothing out. So this is a lot more forgiving, and I could come in here. I'm going to get back in here and get really close to that line now, and I'm going to bring this up. You have a lot more control with this bit than you do with the the hogging bit, but the hogging bit can get a lot out before you are here all day long with maybe a ruby carver, okay? Just depends on how fast you want to go, and I'm not trying to do it fast. I'm just looking for the best way. So I'm going to smooth that out now because I'm pretty close to the line. So I'm going to try to just plane that out so I have a smooth. And here's the rump right here. I'm going to put a line in that I'm trying to maintain, which is that rump line right in here. It's actually up here, but the rump is walking on me a little bit. So I'm going to come in here and try to clean that up a little bit. Get that right down the middle. Then I'm going to come this way. And I still got material out here, so this will give me a chance to get closer to the line. I don't know if you can see that line still. We're almost on top of it. And then just want to smooth this out now. And for those who have sanding devices, I want to get this nice and smooth because I want to burn and draw on here. So I'm going to take that down a little bit more. So now I have a nice smooth surface on the bottom that's doing the same thing and having the same look going across the top. Okay, so I have one of these sanders. It's a mandrel with one of these like little bolts that screw onto there. And this works out really nice. You want to run this at half speed on your machine. And then you can come in. And it's great for small areas where you can come in and smooth things out very nicely. And that will prepare you. And you could do hand sanding here too. If you don't have this, you can always get a piece of sandpaper and get in there with your hands and just do that. And that's just as sufficient, you know? So it's not like you need everything, but these are the niceties that make things go a little easier for you. And like everything else, a lot of times we're looking for the easy way out. At least I get that way at times. So I got that pretty smooth now. I can't say it's perfectly smooth, but pretty close. So let me show you. Now, here's the thing we do. We have a feather. I'm going to get it up on the screen here. And don't worry about the dust in here. You can dust that out with a toothbrush, or you can get one of these rotary brushes that I have that you stick in your machine. And this thing just comes right along and it takes all that dirt right out in a second when you use the rotary machine. So here's what we have. We have this outside feather that comes across here, and I'm going to take like maybe a 30-degree angle and run that over the top. And you can see it makes a little mark right in here. So like where the center feather is the top feather, the outside feathers are the top feather in the case of one we draw. So that is the leading edge. And just like this feather has a certain width, we're making almost the same width down here. So we're coming down and we're coming back like this. Now, I'm going to draw the center line that we had, the body center line back in here, just as a reference, so I can pretty much know where I should be when I'm drawing feathers in. So then here's the second feather in, and I'm taking a 30-degree angle from that cut or burn right there, and that takes me over to here, and I see a little edge sticking out, and I grab that, and now I'm going to parallel this line coming in, and I'm keeping it close. It's less than a 16th. Okay, like so. Hope you can all see that. Then I'm taking the next feather, which is right here, and I'm coming across, and I could see it coming up here, and bringing the lines down to there, up to the rump. Then I come back, and I did, let's see, I got 1, 2, 3. Now I got to do number 4 and get that on an angle. And that's popping up over here. And I'm taking that down right to there. And then 5 is this one here. And I take that over. And that's coming right in almost on the center line, or the body center line, okay? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like I said to you before, there's actually 12 feathers on here, but actually the only ones you see is 11. It's the center one, and 5 this way and 5 that way. The other ones are laying on top of each other. So at all times, you're only going to see about 11. So we're going to go to the other side now, and we are going to, I look at this. I'm going to take this down with the sander just to expedite some time and lower it a little bit. That was just a little high, and I saw that. So I'm going to take that down. And I'm using the sandpaper. If you lean a little bit, you got to watch when you're using the rotary sander. If you lean hard enough, you can shape things too. So that's a one way of accomplishing some of the things. But anyway, here's the edge of that feather, and I'm going to go on a 30-degree angle out. And that pops up right over here. And I'm really going to duplicate what I have over here, but right here. So I'm coming in like this. I think that corner should be turned a little bit up here. I didn't get enough material out. Too pointy. They're rolling. So that's the first feather. Then the second feather, you're running about a 30-degree tilt across there, and it peeks out on the other side. Then I'm staying less than a 16th down to here into the rump. Then I get another one. Let's see, we got feather 1, 2. This is 3. So from that point, I take that and I come around. And I take that down and in. And then on the next feather, take a 30-degree angle. Let's see how many feathers I got. 1, 2, 3. I got to get number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here we go. Which comes right across here. And then it slides down right there. And then 5 is this one right here. And we're just, a little slip there. We got 4 here. Let me get that back in. Okay, and 5 will be right here. It'll be right there. And then what we're going to see is maybe just a hint of that last feather right in the middle here is like a little wedge. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to burn that in. And I'm going to come in here. Give it a second. Okay. Burn it. Like, remember I was saying to you about using this. This is a good time to use that support because you want to be real steady. And I could come right down. That's one. There's two. Okay. There's three. Here's four. And five is right in the middle. Coming right on up. And just touching and tucking in there. And here it is on this side. We're doing this one. Yep. There we go. That's one. And two. Yep. Three. Four. And five. Right there. Okay. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is you want to go with the flame tip ruby. And this is ideal for that. And I leave these sticking out a little further because you got to get into that area. Now, what I want to do is undercut coming from inside here. I'm not touching the top feather. I'm undercutting it from the inside edge here. So I'm going to run that down, and I'm getting my point in there. If you notice, I'm not trying to lower. I'm actually trying to keep the burn in a sense. I was telling you back here, you go with the flow. Because this is concave, I want you to maintain each feather and just go in a little bit on an angle now to get that. I hope you can see it. Not dropping that flat. I'm getting the point right in there. And I'm cleaning these edges as well. So they're staged down, and that's what we want. So now we're going to go to the other side. Before I go any further, this is bothering the heck out of me. This needs to be rolled around a little bit. It's just pointy, too pointy. And that other side looks good. It's still, they're actually an arc going around the feathers here. Okay, now we're going to do this side. And I hope you can see this well. I'm coming in here, and I'm getting that point right in there. And I'm getting this in there. This in here. And then this in that center, coming around. I could have finished that off a little bit better. And then the center one, I'm just going to lay my bit in there just a little bit. Okay? Now, that has all my feathers where they should be. Now, the only other thing I want to do is, like I said to you, I had a 30-degree slant on here. So where the feather came off the edge here, I took a 30-degree shot. So I'm going to go back right over that and burn across so I could join up to what we did on this side. Okay, and I'm just enhancing this a little bit, but I'm going to come out on this edge and get that 30 and come across and then join up with that one. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the next one. I'm going to get that angle. I say 30 degrees. I may be a little off on the degree, but that's approximation. And then I have another one. Let's see. We did 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4 is up here. Right there. And that joins up with that one. Hope you can all see this. I'm not going out of camera range. And then 5 is this one. See if I can get this one where it belongs. 5 is going to come around here and join up. Oop. I jumped a little bit, but I'll take care of that. Then we do it on the other side. We come off of this edge, and I'm shooting for the underneath side of here. That's that one. Then I come over here, and I get this one over and burn that in a little bit. Then I do this one, which is 3, which is right here. And I join up with that one. And then 4, which is right there. And it joins up with this one. Then 5 is the last one. I'll shoot that one in there. That joins up with that. So if you can get that all done, and then the last stage of all of this is, and I'm going to use a pair real quick. I'm going to show you on one side, and then you guys can do the other side. I'm going to get the pair. And for the outside feather, I don't want to do too much, but what I want to do is I want to come down the middle of this feather real light, not heavy, sort of make a belly in the middle, and then soften it out by going sideways with it. We want it concave, just slightly. Don't go crazy on me. I hope you're seeing all this. Okay, so it has a recess in there. And then I'm going to ask you to do the same thing here. You want to come down the middle and get that like a belly in there. And then rock and roll back and forth with it. And then I'm going to ask you to do a little hand sanding, okay? So in the case with me, I'm going to use the mandrel here with the sander and just buff that right out. That makes everything go real smooth. So let me get that all out. Now you have the underneath side somewhat done. We're going to have to burn it, okay? And I will get you on the next video. I just wanted to get that done. Now, the other little thing I want you to do is with the pear. Let me jump back. And something I should have said. You have about a 1/16 in there on the edge. From this, I'm going to run a pencil line here so that you can see it. You have a line here and you have the top already burnt. So I'm going to ask you to come in and thin that down even a little bit more right on the edge. So it'll give the illusion that these are real thin, and they are to some extent, but and we will finish them out pretty good. We'll take them down. You're going to only do it to the outside edge and this outside edge here. So I'm going to come this way because I'm a lefty and I have better control doing it this way on this side. So I get it down to about half of what we had, which is like a 30-second in there, okay? If you can get that, that would be great. And then when we get to the next video, I will show you how to get all the burning done in that area as well. And let's see if I have, here we go. And this is what I was telling you about, the rotary. You have all that dust in there. You can just bring all that back and get all this dust out. This is just a brush, but you could do this with a toothbrush as well, and everything becomes bright again. You have a lot of dust that gets in there, and you have to get that out later, especially when we go to paint. Same way in here, and I'll show you. And if you just want to get rid of dust real quick on your piece, that's the way of doing it. So again, I hope you got something out of this as well. We will finish the tail on the next one and then also start in on the rump. So if you would give me a thumbs up, and if you would subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that. And we will proceed on, and we're getting closer on every step. So thank you for hanging in there, and I hope to see you on the next video. Bye.